I saw a guy this morning used to work for me, hold a grudge against me because he didn't like something that I told him. It was true, and that's why he didn't like it. And me and him lived good for years. He walked off the job. That's his choice. I wrote him a letter and told him I accept that he walk off the job, but I wish him the best in life, and I sent him his money. So this man decided now, even though he lives close to me, that he's avoiding me like the plague, refusing to speak to me. And when I see him, I feel so much pity in my heart because he thinks that in doing these things, that he's doing something to somebody outside of himself. But all he is doing is hurting himself by holding a grudge against somebody that holds nothing against him. Somebody who he could have a conversation with about why I told him what I told him. And I would even apologize for hurting his feelings, even though I know that what I said was true. I probably could have said it less harsh. These people don't know love a neighbor. They don't understand anything. And because I know his background, I know why he's like that. And I pray that God be merciful. But I can tell y'all something. All them grudges that you hold and all that hatred that you hold, even for people who deserve it, it can kill you, not them. It can kill you, not them. Forgiveness is about you. And forgiveness is about self-awareness too. Because in some cases, yeah, people do you something and they're just dead wrong. And in other cases, though, sometimes the truth hurts. And sometimes we have to be accountable. We have to be responsible. And sometimes our habits, smoking, drinking, poor nutrition, they mess with our brain. A lot of times when people think of demons, you don't even need to be possessed by anything because you're possessed by your habits. And then also sometimes some habits open you up to the wrong kind of thinking. But either way, everybody's not against you. And when you live your life like him, where he's so wound up and so tight and he walked about the road stiff and he can't talk to nobody and he vexed with the world. And he was doing it before he used to work for me. But I wasn't a person that he used to do it with. And so I took the risk on him and people told me why. But I see good in that guy. I see good in him. And I know that like there's a lack of love in his life that got he feeling that everybody's an idiot. I ain't none, but he can put me in that box. And I feel pity. And sometimes that's another thing we gotta do when dealing with people and their animosity and their hostility. See it for what it is and pity them. But either way, all the things that you hold up, it is kill you. That's why the Bible tell you pray for your enemies. Because when people are wrong, they reap what they sowed. We know that. There's no person walking about happy who sold their soul. I don't care how much money they have. There's no person walking about content who has given up their relationship for some greater good if they still love that person. You don't get away from your sins. You don't get away from the things you do. You pay for them. So there's no need to for us to try to punish people for the things they do. They're their own punishment. And then if we don't forgive them, now we can take note of them, we can set boundaries, and we can have nothing to do with them if we realize that's the only way to be safe, the only way to not live in a high risk situation. But if we don't forgive them and if we don't learn pity for people who are in a bad place, then so many things have overtaken us. We don't understand the love of God. Feel pity for people. If he's so mad at me, if I told him something and it's so bad, he should pity me. He should say, she thinks she's a good woman, but she got issues, boy. I feel sorry for her. And continue to tell me morning. Maybe your good example would teach me something. But how am I supposed to learn something from somebody that body's so stiff, that play their walking boat, people with their mouth push up, that is looking like a heart attack waiting to happen? You don't stay young forever. Forgive people. You need people. Love your neighbor as yourself. There's just so many lessons that people don't have because they lack spirituality. And then they call themselves a Rasta, or they call themselves a Christian, or they call themselves whatever. And not one thing, not one part, not love your neighbor, not do kind to others, Not stop doing evil, stop returning evil for evil. You can't get one thing do, and you think that you righteous. You think that you spiritual. You got a spirit, but which one? Watch out for your own spirit and make sure that what you put out into the world is goodness, regardless. And goodness sometimes comes with truth, and sometimes truth is not what you want to hear. But if it leads to betterment, if it has merit, if you know somebody tell you throw tantrums and you just throw them, you acting like a little child, or you acting incorrect for how you were made, maybe consider it and better yourself. I love you. Really, I do. And true love don't lie. Bye.